Right, it's officially unofficial. Timo Werner's coming to Chelsea. I wasn't actually going to make this video just yet because I kind of wanted it to be real. You know, there's been so many times in the past where there's been, links and there's agreed deals and they've actually not come through. But everything coming out of the media and the press seems to be positive and like it's happening. So I'm going to make this video. I'm a bit apprehensive, but I'm going to make this video. But this is my reaction to it. This is my reaction to the Werner signing. And come on. It's a pretty good signing, isn't it? Let's face it, Chelsea fans, I'm sure every Chelsea fan's excited by the idea of this signing coming in. I'm really, really happy as well with what's happened because Liverpool did hesitate. Liverpool hesitated with the price, and also there was talks with Klopp and Werner that Klopp couldn't promise him first team football week in, week out. He couldn't promise that. And we've kind of like swooped in, said we'll pay the release clause, and Frank's gone, yeah, we can play you every week, and Timo's gone, well, there you go, that's it, isn't it? So it's been reported that Lampard's had like a massive part in this this transfer going over the line, and it's really interesting to hear because apparently Lampard's been on the phone with Timo like a couple times now, and Frank's basically told him his plan, which is apparently this like 3-4 year plan of, building a team and all this kind of stuff. But also he's kind of just said like, look, I'm gonna be here for a while. The board are backing me, so that means you're gonna have this consistency. You're gonna be an important player to us, and I want you to play for me over these couple of years. Which, as a fan, like that is mental to hear because like we've not had that. We've not had that for so long. No manager in the past 5 to 10 years can say that. They wouldn't have had the confidence to say that at Chelsea because of our reputation of just the rotating door of managers coming in and out. None of them could have said. Imagine if Sarri said that. Like a player would have been like, "Come on, no, that's not happening." But Lampard can say that, and the board seem to be backing him, which is great. It really, really feels great as a Chelsea fan to hear that, and it's interesting to hear about this 3-year plan that he's starting to do. Like he's building a squad of young players. Timo Werner is 24. He's a young player, so he fits that bill. He's coming into a young squad. He's got so much experience. He's a proven in the Bundesliga, and I think it shows a good direction that our club's going into. Yeah, I feel like we're going in a really positive direction, and for the first time in a while, and it looks like we're actually building for once. Lampard's built these academy squad players that we have, and we've got a brilliant academy, so we should have been using them a long time ago anyway. But then also, from looking at some of the signings we made, or we plan to make, we're bringing in young, talented players that can stay with us for a while. No longer. It looks like no longer we're just going to buy a striker that's past his prime and we're going to spend too much money on him, because that's what we've been doing for the past 10 years and it's just draining to see, and I feel like finally I'm getting a bit of Chelsea that I love and a bit of Chelsea that I can fall in love with, you know what I mean? And it's just so exciting that we're building a squad and it looks like this is a plan for a couple of years. This isn't just this year's plan. This is going forward, and it's just, if you're a Chelsea fan and you're not excited by that, like, I don't know. So obviously there are problems with Timo coming in because we have 4 strikers if he comes in. That's way too many. We have Giroud, who just signed a 1-year extension, and I think Giroud signed that for both parties. It was a bit of a reassurance, with the whole coronavirus, like he's just solidifying his space for another year going forward, and I think Chelsea were also kind of looking out for themselves, making sure we keep a good amount of players. And Giroud's class. I mean, I've always defended him. There was a time at the start of the season where Lampard weren't playing him, and I think that was one of Lampard's biggest mistakes at the start of the season, was not playing him as much as he did. He was playing Batshuayi more. But so I think his class. I think he's a great player to have. He's one of the world's best backup strikers, isn't he? He comes in, he gets a goal. He's one of them, and it's great to have him for another year. We've got Tammy, who is, I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, but he's not actually signed a new one. He's been kind of holding off. There's been a bit of back and forth with Tammy recently, and we've not signed a contract with him yet. And I think he's been waiting to see like what happens. So there's that, and then also there's Batshuayi. Now I think, out of the 4, obviously, 3, Batshuayi is the one that's got to go. It's just never worked, has it? It's never worked with Chelsea and Batshuayi. Like, he's been out on loan too many times. He's come into the squad, had times to prove himself, and didn't. Even this season, Lampard's gave him a lot of minutes, and he didn't do a lot with them minutes. And I think it's just time to go. I think it's a big shame. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think it never has worked, and I think he needs to leave for his career as well, because he could go somewhere and be a good striker. I think he could go somewhere and perform well and start scoring more goals and be a first team player, because I don't think he's going to have that here, especially if we're signing Timo Werner. So I think, alongside many other Chelsea fans, we'll all say that probably Batshuayi needs to go. So yeah, that leaves us with the three strikers. That leaves us with Werner, Tammy and Giroud, and that's not a bad three strikers to have, is it? And that also can cause problems, because Tammy was supposed to be the first team striker, and with Timo coming in, paying 50, 60 million for him, like, surely he's supposed to be. But Timo is he's one of them players that could come in, and yes, he can play on the left. A lot of people have said, yeah, he can play on the left, and he can, but he's not a natural winger, is he? He's a converted winger. So he can play there, but we also have Pulisic there, and Callum Hudson-Odoi plays out there, and we do have that option now though to play him there, cut inside. But I think he's a striker, and that's where he plays now, and that's where he's performing so well, and that's why we're buying him. So and I've heard the old two up front, and I do think that could work. I really do. It's something that Lampard hasn't shown yet that he wants to play. He's played 4-3-3 a lot, but I think a 4-1-2-1-2 would work, right? And I think Kante, if he stays, I'm sure he will. CDM, strong CDM. You have people like Gilmore as well, and Jorginho that are playing that position, that play a different role. And I think you have your wingers, you have Pulisic, as I've mentioned. You have on your right, you got Willian, who that his contract is still up in the air at the moment. But we have Ziyech coming in. I kind of forget about Ziyech coming in. He can play anywhere in midfield, and I think we could play him as a right winger. If Willian goes, he can be a brilliant right winger for us. And then that leaves the two up front, and I think Tammy up front, Werner just behind him, because Werner's got so much pace. He's got a lot of ability on the ball. There's some stats out there that say he's created the most chances for himself this season. He makes them runs on his own. So if he comes and picks up the ball, midfield space, and starts running, and he's got Tammy just in front of him, there's goals there surely. Tammy lost a bit of form just before this lockdown, but you saw at the start of the season he can score goals. He's on 13 in the season. That's one of the highest still, and he lost form. So I think them two together could really work. It's a bit mad, and it's something that we haven't done yet, but it's definitely an option. And you know what? The Werner signing is full of options, and it's full of depth. And I think that's really important going forward. Liverpool and City have been so successful because of the amount of depth they have. I mean, City more so than Liverpool, but it's because you can play two squads and both them squads be really good squads. And Timo brings that. I think he brings wing position, strike position, just strengthens that part of the pitch for us, and really it's just really good. I'm really fucking excited if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I think that's it. That's my reaction. He's really coming in. He's strengthening the squad. We have Ziyech coming in. We have Pulisic back. We have Ruben Loftus-Cheek back from injuries. All just class players that we have. We got the likes of Gilmore coming through, Reece James coming through, perfect players. Apparently, we're looking at signing Kai Havertz, which is crazy to think in such a struggling time for everyone, we've got this abundance of money. And I guess it's the band doing us a favour, really, because we sold Hazard, sold Morata, and still have that money lying around. And also, Abramovich seems to be very much invested. But yeah, hopefully we get a left back. That's more important. We need a left back. I think Alonso and Emerson just don't cut it, and I think we need a left back. I think Alonso could go somewhere, and we could keep Emerson as a really, really good backup left back, because we're going to be in various tournaments where we need these kind of backups, and then Alonso can go and then bring it in. I mean, there's obviously talks with Chilwell. But Leicester will probably want 100 mil for him or something ridiculous, so I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm really excited about this. I really want to see how this pans out. I hope it's true, because if I've made this video and it doesn't come through and Liverpool end up signing him, I'm going to look really stupid. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Tell you lads. Peace.